some blueberry soda. So step one, it is to melt the blueberries and get the juice out of them. So I have this bag of organic blueberries from our grocery store. I've put them in, well, half of them because I used half of them already. I put them in a 4-cup bowl, and I'm going to cover them with saran wrap and let them sit overnight so that they melt. And they're in the morning time, when I wake up, they'll be really soft and melty, and there'll be juice on the bottom. I'm going to do that overnight tonight. That's going to be step one. Okay, so it's the next morning. The blueberries have been thawing for about 8 hours. It's okay. It's the next morning, and the blueberries have been thawing for about 8 hours. So I'm going to just put them in the blender now. You can see there's juice there even. And I'm going to blend them. And then I'm going to strain them. So I'm just going to blend them like just like that. They don't need to be like, I'm not making a smoothie out of them, in other words. I'm just trying to break open the cells so that the juice will come out. And so I'm going to pour the blueberry pulp in this. I have a really, really fine mesh strainer, and I'm going to leave it straining there while we go to church. It's Sunday, so we're on our way to church. And then when we get back, you could use like a cheesecloth bag or a cheesecloth. You can squeeze it out. But when we get back, that should be pretty much drained out with just the pulp in it. And then we'll have just the juice for our soda. Okay, so my blueberry mash has been dripping all day into this container. So I have 1 cup of blueberry, and so what I did is I made a simple syrup out of the blueberry. Same thing as I do for my kombucha. What I did is I did 1 cup of blueberry and half a cup of an organic cane sugar. And so I stirred it up. It's mostly dissolved, but not quite dissolved. So that left me with 1 cup total volume. So what I'm going to do, you know, this is kind of experimental for me, but I think it's going to work out pretty good. I'm going to squeeze an orange in here just for some extra flavor and extra volume. And there we go. Orange is squeezed in. I like making cultured drinks, and I love my kombucha, but I'm just feeling like trying something a little bit different. You know, I like kefir sodas. I made some lacto-fermented sodas one summer, and they were so fizzy. I mean, they were like, and we need to get all that wonderful probiotic in our intestines to help us digest our food. So, now what I'm going to do with this is I have the bottles that I use for my kombucha, and this actually will ferment quite quickly. Probably in like 2 days we'll be drinking this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add 2 ounces of my orange blueberry simple syrup to each one of these 12-ounce bottles. And I'm experimenting with that. I couldn't find a recipe on the internet that most of the time they're having you make water kefir and then converting your water kefir over to soda, and I don't want to make water kefir. I want to use whey that I have. I have Kefir Whey, and and I want to use that. So, but let me tell you what you can do also is you can get an organic yogurt from the grocery store, and you can do exactly like what I did with this. Only what you do is you put the yogurt in there, and then the whey drips off the bottom. So you have the whey, which is full of the culture that the yogurt has in it. I have a kefir. I was making kefir a while back, and I just can't keep up with the kefir. It just makes so much kefir so quickly, or kefir, however you want to say it. And I just can't keep up with it, so I just stopped making it. And so but I have the whey, and I love having the whey because I add it to my cultured foods that I'm making. So this is my kefir whey right here. It's a nice golden yellow color. Keeps in the refrigerator for a very long time. So now what I'm going to do, I have 1, 2, 3, I have 6 bottles here. I'm going to add 1 ounce of kefir whey to each bottle. And in one of the bottles though, I'm actually just going to add a probiotic, because I think kefir is just a liquid probiotic. You know, that's pretty much what it is. If you take your yogurt and you strain off the whey, it's pretty much just, you're just really straining off liquid probiotic. Well, I have a powdered probiotic from Paradigm, and I want to add, let me do it right here. This one right here, I'm going to have to mark this bottle somehow. I have this powdered probiotic from Paradigm that I use to culture nuts, and you can put it in shakes, and you just set it out, and it cultures the nuts. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add a scoop to one of the bottles, and I want to see if it will have the same taste and effect as the rest of the bottles. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill these bottles up with water. Now you might be thinking, what a waste, Jan, of this blueberry mash, but no, I'm going to make fruit leather out of this in my dehydrator. So I will come back at the end of this video and show you how to make fruit leather out of this, okay? So I have 6 bottles. 5 of them have the kefir whey in it, and 1 of them I've marked with a little piece of tape, and this is one that just has probiotic powder in it. Now I'm really curious to see if there's any difference, because I would much rather use a probiotic powder than the kefir whey. But I'll check them in like 2 days. I'm going to open them and see if they're fizzy. And I'm going to let them sit out of the refrigerator until they're really fizzy. And then once they're really fizzy, I'm going to put them in the fridge so they stop fermenting. So here I have the blueberry pulp left. And I'm going to add a little bit of stevia to it. You probably don't need to do this, but my experience with making fruit leather and my kids eating it, we add it. You could maybe add, I don't know, honey, or honey though doesn't really dehydrate very good. It still stays kind of sticky. Maple syrup maybe. Stevia just works good for us. We've been using it for a long time. So I've stirred it into the fruit leather. Oh, more juice is coming out the bottom. You know, if I had a cheesecloth, I could squeeze probably a lot more juice out of this to make more syrup for the kefir soda, but I knew I would just probably make fruit leather. So on the dehydrator sheet it goes. You see the dehydrator sheet here? Oh, something's biting me. And I'm just going to take my offset spatula and I'm just going to spread it on here. Not really thin, because when it pulls all the moisture out of the blueberry pulp, it will be really thin and it'll peel right off of this Teflon sheet. And then we'll have some fruit roll-ups. Yummy. Can wrap them around a banana and eat it that way. You can do whatever. You can do whatever with it. You can just eat it. That's usually what we end up doing. We just eat it. So there. I don't want it to be too thin on the edges, or what'll happen is instead of being a leathery fruit roll-up, I'll have a fruit roll-up chip. And I don't want to have a fruit roll-up chip. There. So that's gonna go in the dehydrator. Probably it'll be done tomorrow morning when I get up. It probably will dehydrate very quickly. Okay, so I have the 6 bottles of kefir soda or lacto fermented soda, and I have the fruit leather, and I'll check back with you guys in 2 or 3 days and show you guys the finished product of that. Also over here, I'm making, I'm completing 72 hours of infusing the oil for my anti-aging night cream salve that I've been working on. So it's been on, I don't have a slow cooker, so I've been using the warming zone of my stove, and it's been there since Friday. So tomorrow's Monday morning, and it'll be done Monday morning. I'll let it cool and strain it off, and then see what I create. So, okay guys, bye. Kaden, did you eat all of the blueberry fruit leather?
Are you kidding?
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. Good for you. So I'm a little anxious for my kefir sodas to be done. So I put them outside where it's warmer than in the house, hoping that they will ferment quicker. Okay guys, so the lacto fermented sodas are done. And so I want to taste test them here. Actually I drank one yesterday, so, but I want to show you guys this. Look how, zoom in on this, Cole. Look at how fizzy this is. Whoa, look at that fizz. So it's gonna take a minute for the fizz. I have to open and close, open and close. So this is really super fizzy. Now this is the one with the Kefir Whey, and this is the one that I just used probiotic powder in. So let's look at this one and see if it's the same. Okay, is it blurry? So it didn't turn out quite as fizzy, but it is still fizzy. If you can see, there is like fizz rising to the top of it. So I'm real curious to see what this one is gonna taste like. So, hold on. Follow me over here. So I do know from yesterday, let me open this one a little bit more. I do know from drinking one yesterday, Caden and I had one yesterday, didn't we, Caden?
Yes.
That it wasn't sweet enough. So I'm gonna put a really tiny scoop of stevia in each bottle. Put the lid back on that one, Caden, and just invert it a couple times.
I don't know what that means.
Upside down. Just to kind of mix it up. And I'm gonna put, no, like that. Now I'm gonna put a scoop in here. Just kind of like my kombucha. When I make kombucha, I use these same bottles, the 12-ounce bottles. Okay, that's good, thanks. And we won't be able to open that one for a little while. And I use 1 scoop of that stevia per bottle. So while that one is defizzing, let's see this one. Okay, this one's ready. So this one in this cup is the one without the Kefir Whey, just with a scoop of probiotic powder. Let's have a taste. See what it's like. It's not very good. It's okay, but it's not great. Right? Okay, now the one with Kefir Whey.
Mix them together.
Yeah, I just wanted to see what this would taste like. One with the Kefir Whey. It's fizzy. It's not bitter. This one is a little bit bitter, so we're not gonna drink that one.
No.
I mean, I'm sure it's still good, but the one with the Kefir Whey is much better. It's fizzier. It could use a little bit more flavor, you guys. The simple syrup that I made, was raw. Most people make simple syrups by cooking them, but I didn't. But it does have a blueberry flavor to it. It is fizzy, it's sweet, it's good. Flavor might need a little bit of work, but it's delicious. And this is full of trillions of beneficial bacteria for your gut, which improves your digestion, and taken regularly can help get rid of bloating and gas. And we know that some of us need that, don't we guys? So here, Kate, you can drink that up and I'll have another one. So it just has different bacteria than kombucha does. Drinking both of them is great. Drinking cultured fruits and vegetables, you get different bacteria from everything. So it's really good to eat a variety of cultured foods. So what do I have here? I know you're wondering, what do I have here? This is my new experiment. I love having fun in the kitchen. I should have been like a kitchen experimental lab person or something, but. So here, I told you guys, I don't remember what video, but I was gonna be making jicama, cultured jicama. So that's what's in here, I just did it. And this is also cultured jicama, but this one is gonna be kind of like dill pickled cultured jicama, and this is gonna be a sweet orange jicama. So I'm having fun in the kitchen. I made my, oh they're gone, I made my anti-aging healing salve for my face to wear in the nighttime, and I've been having lots of fun. Now when I taste these, if they're any good, I will definitely let you guys know how I did them. Okay, so blessings, bye.